Hey YouTube, I wanted to add something to the video that I shot earlier of the low pressure system that you're about to see after this segment. Basically what I wanted to say that I didn't mention in the video that you're about to see, which would be the last half of this entire video, is that I build these things because it's a hobby of mine. I enjoy trying to create a smaller, better working, more functional unit, and I guess that's it. It's a hobby of mine, and every time I build one of these and I show it off, people say how much they love it and ask me how they can get one. And you know, so naturally for me, I try to find ways to find parts at lower cost, again without compromising quality, because you guys know that's what I'm known for, is trying to save some time without compromising quality. And these low pressure systems definitely save you time because you're not having to hand pump or pump and then spray and then pump and then spray, and you know, it's just, you know, you pull a trigger and you've got chemical on demand right when you want it every time. As long as that battery is charged, you have access to as much chemical as you can spray in the tank or with the juice from the battery. So what I'm getting at is, I will definitely build you one of these low pressure systems if you'd like. You let me know what you want and I will configure it however you'd like. The bottom line here is, if you are a do-it-yourselfer and you would prefer to build your own system, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if you want to do that and copy my design, that's totally fine. I'll allow it. It's fine. I want you to do that if that's what you want to do. If I can help you source parts or find things, I have all the hard to find parts. I buy those in bulk because, well, they're hard to find and I just keep building these things, so I need them. So the 1/4 and 3/8 fittings that turn your air hose into a garden hose 3/4 inch adapter for a garden hose sprayer, I keep those in stock in both sizes. But you know, bottom line is, it takes a lot of parts and it is labor intensive to put these things together. So either I can help you to build this thing, or I can build it for you, but I'm going to mark it up to make a profit. My time is worth something. So I'm going to have to make some money if I've got to do the work. And so I got to source the parts, design the thing, and then I got to put it all together. The double tank system in the video you're about to see should be around $500 to your doorstep. And the single bank system should be around $300 to your doorstep. I haven't gotten it nailed yet on the price, but that's what you can expect. I don't think it's unreasonable. Again, these things save you time. It's definitely a convenience thing. You don't have to have them to have a fantastic detailing business, but because I've found these milk crates that are actually larger than your standard milk crate, they fit everything in them very nicely, and it's a fantastically less expensive way to contain all of this stuff than the handmade welded and powder coated units that cost me $200+ before I even added the system to it. So yeah, those were expensive. It doesn't make a lot of sense. They were awesome. Let's not, you know, I'm not trying to say that it wasn't worth it. It was definitely worth it. They're awesome. I still use mine at my shop. Problem is, for me to resell them is not economical for you guys. And I'm not trying to be in the low pressure system business per se, other than the fact that it's my hobby and I want to help you with it. So again, where I was at before I show you this video is, if I can help you to build it, I would be more than happy to do that. I can help you source parts, give you advice on it, whatever you need. But if you want a turnkey system, I can also do that for you too. But it's going to cost you more than it will if you source the parts and build it yourself. But you get no aggravation, by sourcing parts that are hard to find, and lots of them to put it all together. And you don't have to do it yourself. So if you want me to do that, no problem. I can handle that for you. So check out the rest of this video, and as usual, thank you for watching me babble into the camera. Thanks. Hey boys and girls, it's Gary Dean, GaryDeanDetailing.com, as well as DetailJuice.com, which is really why I'm shooting this video. I have put out a lot of effort in the past year to create a low pressure system that basically was compact and very functional. And I have done that. I definitely have. I think that for the larger volume situations, the more production oriented detailers that needed higher volume, like 5 gallons of product at a time, I definitely have done that. I've created rack systems that are functional and pretty and work and look fantastic. The problem is they are steel welded, hand welded by an American guy and then powder coated, which just makes the price ridiculous. And I just can't see doing that anymore, because I've created another way to produce something equally as functional but without all the cost that was involved in having those, basically the frames created. So what I've done now is I have found a specialty, essentially a specialty milk crate that everything mounts in fantastically. It's portable, it's nice. So now I can produce these systems for you if you don't want to build them yourself. And they are basically, I can still make money and make them very competitive for as far as pricing goes with the other things that are on the market that aren't as functional, nor are they field serviceable. Hey, stop with your noise, just watch. So field serviceable for me in a piece of equipment is extremely important. I want to be able to use something, and then if I happen to have an issue when I'm in the middle of a job or in the middle of a day and I'm doing multiple cars, because sometimes I'll still do multiple cars in a day. Sometimes I'll do a full parking lot full of cars just because. And you know, so if I had a pump failure or a hose failure or a fitting failure or a tank start leaking for some reason or a hose break or any of that stuff, I want to be able to fix that in the middle of the day and not have to wait for parts or order anything or any of that. And I have created that in the past with my other rack systems, but this, I think you'll find the simplicity is fantastic. Everything fits, it's nice, it's portable, it's fantastic. So without further ado, this is the double system. This is that specialty milk crate I was talking about. It's oversized, it's HDPE, which is a heavy duty plastic, so you know it's not gonna break or anything on you. Again, it's it doesn't cost me $150 to $200 to produce it either, which is how I can save you some money on the end. I mean, the innards, we'll say, of the system are the same as before, except for I'm using smaller pumps now, the 1.2 GPM pumps instead of the 2.2 GPM pumps. You don't need it for this system. You'll notice there's 2 hoses, each are 25 foot. They both have the adapter for the garden hose, the garden hose sprayer. Each pump has a quick disconnect, and I did this for 2 reasons. First of all, I wanted clear hose that are suctioning out of the tanks into the pump so you can see what's going on. Then I wanted this little barb to be here because I want to see what's going out of the pump and into my hose. So there's a quick disconnect right there. It's air hose fittings, so I can pop this right off if I want. It's pressurized right now. At this time, I have decided not to put a switch inside. There's a 18 milliamp hour deep cycle battery in there, which will run this system for a full week without needing to be recharged in most cases. Again, all you'd have to do is disconnect one of the or both the pumps And then what you do is just plug in a battery tender or whatever battery charger you have, or just stick the fittings in there for the positive and negative to charge it. I would recommend a low trickle charge setting. But again, I've got the 2 pumps. I didn't put anything in this side, but the dual system would be for basically my infinite purpose cleaner or your all-purpose cleaner, whatever it is you're using, and my infinite use detail juice, which I did put some of that in this side so I can demo this unit for you. But it's a milk crate, and it's pretty badass. Another thing that's not only going to keep the costs down, but is definitely going to make it even more field serviceable, is instead of drilling holes and putting a bunch of hardware in this thing, basically there's a bungee cord that straps the battery in, and I used zip ties to mount these pumps, which does a fantastic job with the little rubber legs that they have, and they're mounted very securely, and you can get zip ties anywhere. If a bolt happens to rust off or whatever, it'd be hard to find some hardware. Not necessarily too hard, but bottom line is zip ties are way easier to find, and they do this job fantastically. So you can see this side has the quick disconnect fitting as well. This can be tucked inside for easy transport. But what I'm going to do now is this side, this pump is already plugged in, it's already pressurized, it's already got infinite use detail juice in the hose. I'm going to take this out here, I'm going to show you. Got my daughter hanging out, she's just chilling. Say hi, Lily. She's watching Daddy shoot this video. So on this wall right here, I'm just going to show you this. I'm probably going to supply this setup with this multi sprayer deal. I use it on the mist setting, so it sprays out a fine mist. But this is where we're at. It's got a siphon in. I had it off for a second. There we go. It's running now. You can see it sprays plenty out to not be wasteful. Got a little air in the line. To not be wasteful, but it's still cranking out plenty of the infinite use detail juice. It's more than enough flow to get the job done. I've about exhausted my 25 feet, but this is actually designed so that you can put that crate on the rear of a car and get all the way around the car in the front, all the way around to one side, and then go back around to the other side, get the roof and everything. I went with 1/4-inch diameter hose for a couple reasons. We're dealing with low pressure, so the smaller diameter the hose is, you get 2 things out of that. Instead of going with 3/8, I went with 1/4 inch is what I'm saying. The biggest deal is these things don't produce a lot of pressure. I think they're 35 PSI, and the smaller diameter is going to give me more pressure over a larger diameter hose. But beyond that, the hose is filled with product right now. And so when you disconnect that hose, if I'm using a smaller diameter hose, it would still pressurize with the larger diameter hose, but when you go disconnecting that, everything that's in the hose is going to drain out. So you're wasting a lot of product. So with the smaller diameter hose, you're wasting less product and keeping the pressure as high as possible. So that's why I went with the 1/4-inch diameter hose, which is a little bit more hard to find. With this particular hose, this is a rubber hose. And I went with that because it doesn't kink, it does well in cold environments, which I'm in Florida, you can see me sweating, it's not a big deal here, but I wanted something that was very universal. The other thing is you'll want to mark your hoses for what you're using so that you're not cross-contaminating. So like this one will be my infinite use detail juice hose, and the other one will be my infinite purpose cleaner hose. And I have, this one doesn't have the sticker on it anymore, but the one I'm using here has red on it, so that's how I'll know. But bottom line is you have to identify it somehow. Maybe I'll add that in there. But the other thing I wanted to show you is this system. I haven't decided. I have found a source for these things. I mean, this is a cool little cart. This thing goes down and it collapses just like that. Cool thing about that little cart right there is that now the milk crate can have wheels. I may be able to include those in the deal. Obviously the price will be higher. I just don't want to stock a bunch of crap that I'm not going to use or sell. So I don't know. If you guys think it'd be beneficial to have that, all you need to do is get a bungee cord and just strap it on and it would work fine. The other cool thing about this system is if you put a couple of bungee cords on it, and then if you go to, travel with this, that handle could work as a place to hang your hoses, which now there's no place. So if I included that, it would be more value. The price would be a little bit higher, but it would probably complete the package. You guys let me know what you want to do. Realistically, without this, we're looking at a $499.99 price tag. I'm not 100% yet for the 2 hoses, the 2 pumps, the battery, the tanks, everything set up, ready to go, delivered to your door. You're looking at around $500 for that. But, and don't quote me on that because it might be less, might be more. But here's the deal. Here's the cool thing. What we could also do with the same setup, if you don't want the dual situation, you don't want to run an all-purpose cleaner, you just want to run a waterless wash situation, what you would do, you just take both those tanks out. I also can do a single tank deal where we could run the same. I will run the same battery because that battery is pretty awesome. It lasts for a good long while and they're not too terribly expensive. I mean, you can even pick those batteries up at Northern Tool. I think they're $55 for that battery at Northern Tool. But we could run 1 pump on the same exact setup, except for you'd have 5 gallons of the whatever your waterless wash is of choice, and we'd do a single bank setup basically, and I would wire tie that in so it didn't move around. So I can do a double or a single setup, your choice. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. If you love it, let's do it. I'll get it on the site. I'll order some parts. I'll produce these things for you. I can tell you it takes 2 to 3 hours to assemble the double system. So it's time consuming for sure. This is a labor of love for me. I love low pressure systems. I love the convenience that it gives you, the functionality and the time saving that you can get from this. So I'm more than happy to hear your thoughts on this low pressure system. Let me know what your questions are, your concerns. If you got suggestions, let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will have more information about this up soon, as well as pricing. Let me know what you think. Check me out on Facebook at detailjuice.com, also Gary Dean Detailing. We have 2 Facebook pages, one for my services and one for the product line. These systems are more geared towards the product line. I may be able to include some infinite use detail juice with the systems. I'm not sure. I got to figure out the pricing. I gotta nail it down. I know what the labor involved is, and we're gonna go from there. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.